What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Smashing Pumpkins, and we're continuing toward the end of the second part of the double album Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness, and we're up to track 11 on Twilight to Starlight, the second disc, and that is simply beautiful. That's the title. It's an adjective. It can also be a noun or a title for someone, or more properly an affectionate pet term for a significant other, a spouse, a lover. So yeah, the idea of a track being called beautiful suggests some different things. It could be about a person, it could be about a perspective, whether that's on your life or the world or a little facet of either of them. It could be in relation to a feeling, a sort of internal psycho-emotional condition or state. It could be ironic, though. It could be about the inherent impermanence or imperfection of living creatures and humans, and thus, for brief moments in time, maybe something clicks in, maybe something fits in a particular way that makes it beautiful in contrast to other times and configurations that are less ideal or less desirable. So I feel like there's a lot of different ways this can go. Fair to say, whether Billy is shout singing, or even screaming, or in some cases singing in a lower and more mellow type of delivery, I don't always hear him clearly on a first hearing or listen, but fair to say, on some level, I may have heard this track before, even though it's been proved again and again as we've gone through the double album, that I just didn't listen to it nearly enough or nearly as completely as I should have back when I owned it originally. So yeah, I don't remember this one by name. It's possible on some level that I've heard it before, but the point is, I'll see what I can pick up from his vocals on a first listen. This is Smashing Pumpkins, the track is Beautiful, and that's the title, from the 1995 album Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness. looks like the track's slipping into a void more than a normal fade out. Got a little dissonant there. So yeah, not, I think, the type of sound that I associated for a long time with this album, though again, that's partly due to my lack of fully exploring it back then. So yeah, not wicked distorted guitars, not Billy singing at the height of his, nasally shout screaming, but instead a more low-key, down-tempo type of track with lots of different instrumental parts, that little guitar flourish, the down-tempo, like trip-hop style percussion almost, the little chimes or bells, I wasn't quite sure what those were, they sounded maybe like bells, that deep bass, which was very heavy in its weight, to the point where I think it was like redlining on my system at the beginning, and just the overall atmosphere, which was a bit of a dream. It felt a bit blurry, if you will. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, it had this dream state, lack of clarity. But the lines, I didn't hear too many of them, but definitely, comparing someone to the sun or to the sky and the scope of their beauty being big and dramatic and massive compared to, our individual human experience and points of view or subjective senses. But then saying some other things that felt like maybe it's more complicated, and certainly using the term wonderful as well, which is another superlative type of adjective. But it felt like maybe there were third parties involved, something about like she's looking down on us both. So I feel like maybe it's not just a story about the speaker and someone they're describing as beautiful, but part of a larger or at least multi-part dynamic. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if there's any irony or, complicated reality beyond the simple positive description of beautiful, but yeah, definitely a more hazy, down-tempo, melodic type of track compared to something like, again, Bullet with Butterfly Wings, which is the type of sound I always associated with this album. And to be fair, it's not the only one on this double album that's had that intensity and that distorted guitar fire, but yeah, there's way more to this album than I realized in terms of the sonic variety, the emotional content, Billy's vocal delivery. So another one that just continues adding clarity to the three-dimensional and diverse character of the album. So really cool tune, despite me not quite knowing what it's about. Do comment if you have some insight. Other than that, I will see you next time. Peace.